We build a product for a huge market, and we've already got paying users who we are working with to make sure that what we're building suits their needs. Any tech founders in the audience? When you build your product and you're ready to launch it to the world, you need a set of complex legal agreements in place that govern the relationship between you, your customer, them, their customer, and a myriad of other stakeholders. Working with lawyers isn't just expensive and time-consuming, it's both. But lawyers are also human. They make mistakes. They're not always up to date with the latest rules and regulations and requirements for tech companies. So, Flow Legal is an automated AI system that chats to users, forms a technical and operational understanding of their business, and then uses that information to draft relevant contracts and policies, keeping updated as their companies evolve. Myself, I built tech for lawyers, still in use with big companies like law firms like DLA Piper and Freshfields, and I'm working with a co-founder who's a lawyer who's worked in the likes of Warner Brothers and BT, running quite complex legal contracting and compliance projects. We build a product for a huge market in a quite highly differentiated space, and we've already got paying users who we are working with to make sure that what we're building suits their needs. So we've got 150k of SCIs remaining. If you'd like to get involved, let's chat. Thank you.
Amazing performance. Anyone wants to? We have a question here?
Yeah. Hold on.
Excuse me, hold on for a
Oh,
second. We have some people watching back there, so on live, so they cannot hear me without the mic.
Can you hear me? Which documents are you generating for startup?
Sure. So we're mostly focused on tech companies, which means we're doing a lot of terms and conditions, a lot of privacy policies, a lot of SaaS agreements, a lot of end-user license agreements. These are agreements that you wouldn't typically find on companies like Seed Legals, for example, which is much more fundraising focused. Typically what would happen is you launch your product and then you have to go to a lawyer and spend hours talking to them and sort of downloading everything you know about the product. And then they need to ask the right questions. And so this is what our product does. It asks the right questions, it forms that understanding, and then it generates those documents.
Any more questions? I have one up there.
Yeah, thank you. So you're listing AI risk assessment. What is that? Can you maybe talk a little bit more about that? That's the first question. And the second one, also a question today.
Sure. So if you want to know more about AI risk assessment, you probably need to speak to my co-founder, who's the lawyer. I'm the techie guy. You know, the whole reason I started this product is because I didn't know what any of these things meant. I just knew I needed them. And when I'd go to lawyers, they'd say, well, what's your budget? So yeah, all these things that tech companies need, including many which are out of my understanding, is what we do. I hope that makes sense. And on traction, we've just got 6 companies that have agreed to use our product. What we do is we take a small deposit up front of £50. We work with them offline, sort of generating the agreements with the understanding that once the product's ready, which will have a whole lot of contract lifecycle management related functionality, they'll use that as well and test the remainder.
Okay, thank you.
Over here, thank you.
Have another question?
Can I just ask, do you focus solely on the UK legal framework, or can you work with companies in, let's say, the United States?
Yeah, so right now we're doing UK, and we've got one German company as well. We want to be able to help companies in every country. We actually want to tackle that complexity that as you start launching in different markets, you require different legal agreements. So that's the idea, to go really deep on tech law and all the different ways that tech companies need legal services. Any other questions?
I have 2 questions over here.
Hi, just I guess on the technical side, in terms of hallucinations, obviously if something goes wrong and you've got some incorrect wording, that could be highly costly. How do you account for that? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. So if I went to a Gen AI product and asked for a SaaS agreement twice and gave me 2 completely separate SaaS agreements, that wouldn't make any sense. We work much more like a human lawyer. We have these templates already under the hood, and then what we're doing is going through the templates part by part, asking the right questions, scratching off the parts that don't apply. So yeah, the wording is the same every time. It's an underlying knowledge graph and underlying playbooks that run the whole thing. Gen AI just chats to the user, essentially.
Amazing. Thank you all for the questions.